right. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is Twin Flames Unite. We back at it again. And if you don't know by now, I'm Chris.
And I'm Leisha.
What up? What's going on, everybody? Y'all are in for a treat this evening. Tonight is going to be, how can I say this? Very spontaneous. Okay. Right now, we're going to be going off of the dome, just going into some things. It's pretty much going to be an open discussion, and tonight we have a special guest.
Very special.
If you want to go ahead and introduce our guest, babe.
Our one and only, the most beautiful, poetic soul on this right now. Talented people that you would ever meet. Kind-hearted. Just, I can't even put the word. ADT. She's also a singer-songwriter. Okay? Artist too. So bringing her, rolling her in.
All right.
There we go.
Let me get this set up properly.
Okay, about to set it up. Hold on, guys. Like we said, this is coming straight from source. Okay.
I know what it was.
There we go. Boom. There we go. Okay.
Y'all almost made me cry with that introduction.
ADT in the house.
What's going on there? What's going on, sis?
Hey, what's
How
going
you
on,
been?
y'all?
How you doing?
I've been fantastic.
All right.
What about y'all?
All right. Now, for those who may not remember ADT, was it last year we did the live music concert? That was last year,
I
right?
think it was late last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was one of the featured artists on that production, which was dope. Definitely would love to do something like that again.
That was nice.
But for the people who don't know you, if you want to introduce yourself a little bit, let them know what's going on with you.
Hi, I'm ADT. You can call me A. Also Amanda Taylor, trying to brand the real name, so there's no mystery as to who I am. I reached out to my friends here. They're some of the two most favorite people in this planet. And I'm always talking to them. Seriously. I don't go live often, and I don't talk about things with just anyone. So it's a special. And I said, hey, let's talk about some stuff today. Nothing scripted or anything like that. So like Chris said, it's right off the dome.
Right off the dome from souls.
Yes, and speaking of that and branding the name, I'm just going to drop your IG in here real quick for everybody to know about your bombing restaurant.
Oh my God, how did I forget that? Listen, guys, she can cook her behind off, okay? And it's all good for you, so you don't have to feel bad about eating it, okay? Because it's good stuff. It just tastes so good. You can't believe that this stuff is not good for me. So,
And it is.
And it is good for you. That's how good it tastes.
Right.
I call it soul food.
Yes, it is. That's soul food.
That's soul food.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so, real quick, I know you're switching things up as far as in Atlanta right now. How's that process going? Like, how much longer do we have to wait before we come over there and get a plate
and eat some food?
Well, not everyone. Actually, no one knows anything about the Atlanta thing. That was backstage talk.
He didn't even know. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Did you say something about the rain yesterday?
It was raining. Yeah.
It's all good though.
The tornado
it's supposed to come out, I suppose. I mean, it's right off the dome, right? So, I'm expanding out here for the rest of the year. A Taylor experience in Atlanta will probably be just private chefing and catering. That's what I'm going to be doing. But then I won't announce what it'll be at the beginning of the year. But we're still on and popping in Mobile, Alabama, just changing up the business concept a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. So we can still come by maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm always able to cook. You don't have to wait for the restaurant to be
I
open.
ain't say no more.
Gotcha,
Say
gotcha.
no more.
All right, cool, cool beans. All right. So, without further ado, we're just gonna drop into some things. We're just gonna go into it. And for those who are watching via YouTube or Facebook, if you have any questions or comments that you want to drop in the chat, please feel free to drop them in, and then we can go into it from there. But let's just open it up to you, ADT. I know things that were on your was one of the first things that you kind of want to jump into.
Yep.
What's up, Max? In the building.
I mean, we could kind of piggyback off that soul food topic. What everyone kind of already considers as soul food, which is not soul food. Um, I mean, if you guys want to get down and gritty with that,
I'm with it. I'm with
Okay.
it.
it's kind of controversial, but it's truth and facts. Um, I saw this comment, and I don't let things bother me. And this didn't bother me, but I saw this comment when I opened the restaurant up a few months back in Alabama, and this lady said, "This is not soul food. I don't see this, and I don't see that, and I don't see this on the menu." And
Hmm.
so I laughed it off because, you know, colloquially we think that, or we have grown up to food would be like your ham hocks and or all these cuts of meat that we had to be able to eat. Our families back in the day had to eat during like slavery time just to be able to survive, and it's not really
Word.
nourishing our soul. And from that time, we've just consistently made it a part of the culture and have named it as soul food. Um, but in terms of soul food, for me, I mean, I don't ever force veganism on anyone. Um, but I was listening to a show earlier, and I sent that link over to you guys this morning.
Yes. Dr.
And
Serious.
yeah, oh man, he's super serious too.
He
Um,
is. He is a bomb.com.
Yes, he is.
we got into it with even meat being cut, and you know all these different conspiracies, and they're actually like factual things, and they're showing us that this meat is 3D printed now.
Yep.
The blood in the meat is not blood. I mean, we all know that when blood dries, it's brown. Like, why are these cuts
Mhm.
of meat red still? Um,
Right.
it's so much fake stuff, right? So it's like when we
Yeah.
nourish our bodies, if you believe that our soul is within our vessel, then I mean, we got to really feed that gut and make sure it's healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
you can have
And
comfort
that
vegan food, but it's a lot better than that fake stuff.
Absolutely.
and to be honest with you, in my prior profession, I used to work at Publix, right? No
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
shade at Publix,
Oh boy, he
but
about to spill the beans. He about to spill the
Let's
beans,
get to
ADT.
it.
but for my meat eaters out there, I'm telling you from first hand experience because I worked in the meat section back there when they were cutting the meat. Okay, and Publix. Remember, we still love
We
you. We,
still
we
love you,
still shop at
Publix.
Publix.
Listen, your fruits are still from the Garden of Eden, and Walmart
Yes,
is the Valley of the Shadows of Hell.
Very
facts.
true.
It still remains. We still love you, Publix. But we got to tell the truth.
Right. But to let you in on something, for one, um, whenever you see the packaging of meat and it has a bubble in it, like it's kind of like got air in it, that's already letting you know that it's going bad. But here's the thing that most meat departments do. Instead of just throwing that meat away, if they can, they'll slice a little bit off the top until it's red again and then put it right back out. So when I started now when I worked at Publix, I was already a vegan, and so people were making fun of me because I was a vegan working in the meat department.
Oxymoron.
But yeah, seeing it firsthand of what they actually do with that meat, and that's for most of your steaks pork chops, um, and things of that nature. So it's real.
Yeah,
It is real.
and just to get a little, put a little conspiracy stuff in there, which is actually not a conspiracy because this is a fact.
Hmm.
ADT sent me something the other day. It was a link, but I had seen it last year. We tried to tell you guys about it, but they took the video down. You know, they're making meat now from these celebrities' cells. That's the one that you had sent me,
Uh-huh.
ADT.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the thing now. You can it's just so much is happening when it comes to food and what we put in our bodies.
Hmm.
And it's not soul food. What we think is soul food is not soul food. It's really breaking our bodies down.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of us have these special gifts that we have, and we're really not utilizing those gifts in the correct way. And
Hmm.
we're proud of ADT right now because
Yeah.
she is literally utilizing her gifts to make necessary adjustments for our future generation
Yeah.
in cooking.
Yeah.
And I'm super grateful
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got kids.
All right. Let's kick into something else here because you actually touched on to something. We're talking about soul food, right?
Yeah.
And when we think about our souls, what is it actually made out of?
Ooh, nice.
Right?
Now you touching something.
Okay. Because our soul are essentially electric. If anything, it's a wave. It's a constant wave that we're tapping into. So when you think about electricity, then you think about something that has some conductivity to it. Um, I was just watching a video, and we were talking. I know we were talking earlier about how my locks got longer, yours got longer, and
True.
I was watching a video of this guy talking about the importance of our hair, especially the not what they call non-ether being hair. And he was talking about the importance of hair and how it actually helps us tap into our environment because we have receptors that are in our skin
Mm,
that will tell us like what's going on, what's the vibe. If there's some type of danger in there, your hair on your body actually communicates with your cells so that it actually gives off the right message so that you can know whether or not you need to be in this space.
mm,
And so in thinking about food, like if we have the wrong type of food in our bodies that pretty much clog up that message, then we're not getting the proper information that we need so that we know how to move properly.
exactly.
Hmm.
It takes us out of a certain awareness.
Hmm.
And if you're not aware, then you really can't do anything about your situation.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like a domino effect, so to speak. But it all starts with what we put inside of our bodies.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All
Our
right.
hair is like external organs, right?
The hair is, but also the skin is the largest organ of our body.
Yeah.
Because even from what he was saying on the video, and just what we know already, your skin is actually what do they call it? An extension of your brain.
Mm,
Because the things that we feel from our
right.
brain, because it's connected to the nerves, it
Right.
sends that signal to the brain so that we know what to do. And that's part of the reason why we can have that fight or flight mode.
Mhm.
Whenever we go into a room, we feel like, okay, the vibe is good in here. I can chill out, and that allows the cells to grow because it's not in the fight or flight mode. It's like, okay, we can chill. Everything's good. So let's go ahead and let's produce. But if you go into a situation, let's say a courtroom, right? You go into a courtroom, the energy is different in there because you feel like, oh, okay, these people are out to get me. Hold on, let me get in fight mode. And so you ain't producing nothing, but you stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right?
Right.
So it's just certain situations like that. But I think that the proper foods that we get, which is actually not we say it's protein, but it's actually simple amino acids that are actually needed to help with that electricity conductivity type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Cool, cool.
we
But
touching on
yeah.
stuff.
Yep, yep, yep. Now, one other thing. Oh, real quick. Definitely want to give a shout out to everybody who's watching via YouTube. Also watching on Facebook. Definitely appreciate you, ADT, because it looks like you brought your whole crew here with us.
Really? I don't even know who's on.
Got looks like we got 300 people watching right now, so that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
All
Hey
right.
y'all.
Um, So we didn't even do this in the beginning, but if you're new to this channel, definitely hit the subscribe button. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, the chat mode is actually in a mode where if you're not a subscriber, you can't chat. So you at least have to
Oh,
subscribe.
that's what's going on.
So
Okay.
if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't already, give us that thumbs up and definitely share this information so that we can get it out to as many people as possible. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we got some people in the house. Just shout out
Mhm.
uh, Blue Diamond Dust.
Yes.
She's actually the first one to comment in the chat.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
So Blue Diamond Dust, we thank you so much.
we hadn't seen Mex in so long.
And we got Mex in the building.
What's up, Mex?
All right.
And then we have, I can't see the rest because the camera, so maybe you could go.
So we got some other people in here.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
go.
that's my people right there.
That's your people.
All right.
ADT
OG
brought her whole
right
crew.
there.
It came strong.
Right.
There you go. There you go. All right. But you know what? I got another topic just in case you don't have one right on top of your head right now.
Okay.
Um, and that is dream state.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Um, on the last video that we did, we wrote down some basics on dreams. And this was actually something that was, I guess you could say, a long time coming because we had mentioned this to our audience about a year ago. But when we introduced it, it was like, okay, there are certain things that we already know about dreams, but from what we have been experiencing these past 2 years, dream space is not what it used to be.
Not at all.
Okay. Um, and in my opinion, and I also think in my baby's opinion, if I could speak for her on this one as
You
well,
can speak for me.
this is where a lot of our powers lie. Okay. It's kind of similar to the whole Sandman series. If you haven't seen it, definitely something to check out. But it's telling a lot of truth in that, along with some other movies like the Doctor
Doctor
Strange movie
Strange.
with the Scarlet Witch, and then there was one other movie that was talking about dreams. Oh, Everything, Everywhere, All at
Oh,
Once.
yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, um, those movies were dropping some hints in regards to what is to come. Okay, and Teresa, we thank you so much for checking in. What's up? What's up? Um, but yeah, as far as dream space, what's going on with you without having to share too much?
Oh man. um. Well, I'm appearing in some of my closest friends' dream space. From what I understand, they tell me that lately. For me, the lucid part of the dreaming has become very extraordinary. Uh,
Hmm.
I've
Yeah.
always been able to kind of just tell myself what I want to dream of. I can always tell myself to pick up from a dream that I remember from the previous night or whatever the case. I've always been able to do that. But, it's been really, really, really real. Um, More real than before. Um, and my dream state has been in other people's dreams as well.
Mm.
I think, I was telling one of my friends, I was like, hey, I was telepathically sending you a message in my dream. And I said, I explained the dream and everything like that. And I guess I could say it now, but I was on an elevator and the elevator doors opened and I saw all these horses running. Now, she and I have been speaking about horses a lot lately. It's been appearing
Mhm.
in her reality. Not so much mine, but she puts it in mine because we talk about it. So I was on
Mhm.
this elevator and I'm not sure which direction it was going, up or down. I just remember the doors open. It was like all these horses running by. And I told her that I remembered because I do something when I do like remote healing. I telepathically do all this stuff. And I was like, I telepathically sent you a message to let you know that I just saw all these horses when this elevator door opened. So she's like, well, I'm about to go see Nope, the movie, like 2 o'clock. And she and I had previously discussed, Nope, but it was like a month and a half ago. So I was unaware
Mhm.
when she was actually going to go see the movie. I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, I don't usually remember dreams, but I was in the elevator in my dream last night. So I was like,
What?
yeah, I was like, wait a minute. um, and she won't say it, but I think she kind of got freaked out. And she hadn't said
Yeah, of
anything
course
to
you
me.
did.
Yeah, like it was like, I was speaking to one of my other friends, and they were like, maybe you were remote viewing or whatever. Maybe you were right there. You know, maybe she was actually next to you instead of you sending a telepathic message. It's a possibility.
Of
Um,
course it is.
yeah, the probability of it is pretty high as well. But
It is.
um,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
pretty
like
sensitive. Like
shared
I
dreams.
think, yeah, I think so
Mm-hmm.
because I don't. First of all, I don't believe in coincidences.
Mm-mm.
Like I threw that out the window a long
Oh
time
no.
ago. Yeah, we've had so many strange, like super strange synchronicities
Mm-hmm.
that's happened within the past what 3 years, I want to say.
Yeah.
So you were totally there, ADT. In my book, like that is not a coincidence, and she knows it. That's where the feeling is coming from. So for her not being a dreamy person, like if you want to put a term on it, she's not a dreamy person. So this is not like she has this big experience,
Mm-hmm.
but she's gonna feel like the resonance would be there, and because she's not used to that resonance, it'll scare her maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Like what kind of witchcraft are you doing over there? Like
right?
none.
And
The first thing you're probably gonna say, yeah, but it's natural. We can all do it.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually one of the states of dreams that we were
Hmm.
talking about in our last live, which was the telepathic type dreams,
Yeah.
where for those who, because there are people who do it naturally, but
Hmm.
then there are also people who are trained in the art of sending messages to people telepathically.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one thing to tap into.
Hmm.
Could you imagine we could actually, if anything actually really went down, right?
Right.
Let's just say, like, if all of the things that they're predicting to happen on this planet actually went down, and we like didn't have any internet, like everybody still sleeps. So even in our dreams, we could actually send messages from one person to the next. And actually, even in ancient times, the tribes really respected people's dreams, especially dreams of children, because they understood that a lot of the elders and the ancestors that passed on would actually come and visit the kids in dreams and
Yeah.
give them messages. So with that, what you're just saying, being able to share that with your friend and she pick
Hmm.
it up, like we can send other messages to everybody else
Hmm.
so that they can actually be on game about certain things.
Yeah, we just got to get them to stop being so afraid.
Yeah.
That's the thing that blocks us is that fear. And because fear is a completely different frequency, like that'll
Mhm.
knock anything out. It really would override anything that's coming through. Because I know when I'm in dream space, if I get afraid, I start going in slow motion because it's starting to get like gooey. That's what I call it. It's like thicker. The
Mhm.
energy is a lot thicker, so it's harder to maneuver.
Mhm.
So when you're afraid, it's almost like it's a blocker.
Right.
That fear energy, we got to get rid of that.
Mhm.
Do you guys usually wake yourself up?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Say it again.
wake ourselves up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I done died a few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I know my I call it my address. Like
Uh-huh.
here.
Hmm.
One time in particular, I died. And when I was dying, I was I started to feel afraid because I'm like, shit, I'm dying, like damn. And I'm like, at first I was confused as to what I'm gonna do. But then as I started to relax into the death, I started to remember. So the once I started to just take deep breaths and just let go, because I had to let go because I was still holding on to where I was in the dream. Like I wanted to be here, well, no. But I'm like, you know
Right.
what? Fuck it. So I just went, let it go. And once I let go, I started to remember this life.
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh, it's okay. I know where I'm going. And so it was like a portal. And it literally, I got sucked into a portal. And I felt my essence or soul come back into this body. And when I came back into the body, I took a deep breath and then I started like I went and then I started coughing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I died a few times,
Yeah.
but I always remember my address like to come back here.
Yeah. And even a few nights ago, see, I know that we're getting super powerful in this dream
Yeah.
world because there was one place that I was in, and apparently I'll say some entities didn't want me there
Oh yeah, that
because
happens
we
to
were
me.
actually on mission. Like we actually like SEAL Team Six going in with some stuff, right? And these particular like these 5 or 6 guys saw me,
Yeah.
and for whatever reason, they just put their sights on me, and they all started rushing towards me to try to take me down. And so they all jumping on me, and I kid you not, it was not like they were jumping on me. They were pushing me out of that reality.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized what they were doing, I was like, "Oh no, hold on, no, I'm going back in." And I literally went back into that same space, still saw those same 5 or 6 people, took them down, and still kept on with the mission. So it's some major stuff that is going on in dream space
Yeah.
that we got to really tap into because there's some things that's really being revealed. Um, Especially, let me ask you this, ADT. Um, how do you feel about the whole notions of star seeds?
Mm.
Um. So I haven't really looked into it too much. It's not like I don't know about it, or about star seeds, but I don't like to speak on things that um, I can't really explain
Elaborate
well.
on.
But I would love to learn, and some folks that I know here would like to know about it as well. If y'all want to jump into it,
Mhm.
Well, hey, we're not experts on it either,
Right.
but I did want to share this experience from last night. Um, in this new location that we're in,
Man, this place.
the the skies are clear at night for the majority of the time, and so we're able to see like a buttload of stars
There is a Big
at night.
Dipper right in front of our house. Is
Yeah,
that?
when during the time of the northern year,
Yeah.
it was right, and actually you can still see it a little bit.
Hmm.
It's a little bit more further north, but since we got into this place, there was this particular star that I just kept staring at, and I couldn't stop staring at it. Every night I go out there and I look at it, it's like, bam, it's right there. It's in the same place, and you ever have a feeling like, say, for instance, crystal? Somebody put in that they're a crystal baby.
Mm.
If you go into a crystal shop, sometimes you see a crystal and it just feels like it's calling your name,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And so you felt that before, okay?
yeah,
So
it was like it was guiding me, looking over me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
mm,
yeah, and it shined really,
so
really bright.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. And so when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, why I connected to this particular star? Then I noticed that it was also making a triangle. And at first conspiracy theory dropping in, I was like, hold on, that's a triangle. Hold on, is that a ship in the sky? I was like, no, it's not a ship in the sky. But and like for the longest, I had been getting the nudge to look it up, try to see what constellation that is. I was like, man, I ain't gonna worry about that constellation. I'm just gonna put it off for right now. But last night, I said, you know what? Forget about it. I'm gonna figure out what this star constellation is. And lo and behold, I found out that it was the Summer Triangle, which is one that you can see during the summer times. Those three stars, they shine brighter than any other stars, even in with the light pollution and everything, they still shine through. But the particular one that was drawing my attention was the Vegas star, right? And so I was like, Vegas star, okay, what star system is that? And so I started digging a little bit deeper into it, and it came up to the star system Lyra, which is actually the same star system from K-Pax.
And that's how we met ADT.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I'm jumping in here, but it's tying together. ADT, do you remember how we met? That crazy guy.
Yeah. Yes.
He always
Yeah.
claimed that he was a Lyran. Remember
Okay.
that? He was that was
Oh yeah.
that was his biggest
Yeah.
thing. That's where he was from. And I'm like, why is he coming up? Why is he popping up? But that's where we met ADT.
Mhm.
So
I
we're
get
coming
emails from
we're
him.
coming full circle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And to answer Holly's question, said, are you sure those are stars?
Man, listen.
Look, we were having a whole conversation about 2 nights ago about this, Holly, because we know that they're sending up all these Starlink satellites, and they pretty much going around the whole Earth. It was like, man, you know what? I can't even tell a star from a satellite, but actually you can, because the satellites, they still move a little bit. And this particular star system, when I was looking at it, if I sit in the same spot and I look at it, it's like this thing on top of our roof, like it was always right there. I was like, what the hell is this star? And so lo and behold, I went into it to find out more about the star system, understanding that this whole star system is from particularly a planet that was destroyed. And here's the thing that they got me, right? Because I've had quite a few apocalyptic type dreams. And I'm thinking like, oh, this is some prediction of something that's supposed to happen here, or maybe it's a timeline for something that would have happened here. But when I found out the supposed history, well, once again, I hadn't found anything to validate this, but the Lyran's home planet was one that was destroyed. And I'm thinking about the dreams I had where things were pretty much went to an end. I was like, hold on, what if I'm actually going back and seeing the destruction of my home planet? I'm like, hold on.
I mean, we old guys. We're not.
Yeah.
We are really old.
Yeah, so that's yeah, I'm just bringing that back around as far as the dreams, because what we think are dreams may not necessarily be dreams. They may be just experiences that we're having, whether it's from throughout the day or it's other things that's locked into our DNA, which once again, going back to the food,
Right.
which if
Yeah.
you have the food in your body,
Yes.
you're able to unlock certain things, because when you have that right frequency to come through, it's like playing binaural I know what I mean.
Yes. Yeah. Binaural beats.
Yeah, because if you play those beats, then it unlocks certain things, but also your food helps unlock certain things.
Yep.
and not forgetting the times that we're in right now, which
Mm-hmm.
is a lot easier for us to do things than before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a real thing happening.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
So boom. Wow. This is
We got some comments in the chat right now. What is this?
Teresa
G.
talking about she want to hear the
All
story.
right. And
Not sure which story you're
GTB.
talking about, Teresa. You're gonna have to let
Yeah.
us. Let's scroll back a little bit here. Let's see what's going on. Oh, Mr. Band 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 Clap says I'm a crystal child. Okay. Uh, I know what you're talking about. I go there too sometimes. Gosh, I wish I was keeping eye on comments as they came through, so I can know exactly what you were talking about there, Mister Band Clap.
Y'all need a moderator. It's jumping with
We
comments.
really do. We really do need a
Yeah.
moderator. We had one, but I don't know what happened. Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh,
noticed that.
how we
Hmm.
met.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Say
they
that's
all do
crazy.
have a
Artists.
star ring.
Yeah, that is true. And that depending on the ring, it means a different thing.
Hmm.
Especially when you start studying signs and symbols, you start breaking down some things. There's a stargazing app, actually. It shows the direction of the stars. Yeah, you know what? I've been trying to find if anybody in the chat or if anybody watching this on a replay, if you know of a really good app for stargazing. Now, I'm an Android guy, so you have to recommend one for Android, and then you can recommend one for the forbidden fruit.
I know you didn't just call me no forbidden fruit.
The
He just
iPhone.
mad because the iPhone is better than the Android. He
Yeah,
mad.
That is
yeah.
true. Sorry.
I've been trying to find a good app to do that because, especially out where we are now,
Yeah.
because we're about an hour outside of the city, so we can actually see the stars now
Hmm.
versus when we
Yeah.
were in the city. So I'm really intrigued. Like every night, I'm out on the patio
Hmm.
trying to see which ones are stars and which ones are
Yeah,
satellites.
because some of them are satellites. Because right now they're planning on having all their little toys. That's what I'm going to call it, around the planet. And I have a whole theory as to why they're literally strategically lining these satellites up all around the planet. But I want to get the channel taken down, so
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go too much into that. But yeah, some of them are not stars. Some
Oh,
of them satellites.
okay, Mr. Benz. I see what you're talking about. Talking about the dream where I was kicked out.
Oh yeah.
Um, Oddly enough, right now I don't have my dream journal on me, but let me say this. There was a certain individual who passed away recently.
We're not gonna name names, but it start with an E
Okay.
and it ends with H.
And now there are two different sides to this story, especially for our conspiracy theorists. Because and believe me, I'm not when I say conspiracy theories, I'm just saying this so people at least have something to identify with.
Right.
But it's really for those who really think and they study, and it's not so much a conspiracy is that a lot of times they can actually prove what's being told. But
Right.
just for the sake of conversation, I'm saying conspiracy
Or we could
theorists,
call them critical thinkers.
critical thinkers. Okay, for our critical thinkers out there, they already have the really strong belief that this person actually passed away a year ago, right? um, versus they say have that particular dream. As I said, I was on on a mission with a group of other people, very much like a SEAL Team Six. Everybody had their hats on, the thing, the face mask on, so you really couldn't see. I do remember that there were two women, and the other people were men. but we were on a mission to take down. Actually, you know what? I said I wasn't going to talk about this dream because,
Because you may be giving away
yeah,
private
giving some
information.
information. But damn, I didn't told so much already. Um, but in this particular mission, it was to go through and take out whatever elite that was manipulating the masses. And I'm just gonna keep it at that. We had a mission, and it was funny because the compound that we had to go to actually complete this mission, it was kind of like Inception. Like, you know how the girl would change the scene where the stairs would move around this way and the building would go that way. Well, the person that we were going after was doing this on purpose to try to get us off track. But I knew which way to go. It didn't matter which way they changed the scenery or whatever. I was like, I told the team like hold still, wait till the movement finish, and I was like, we're going that way. Like that was the whole thing, and we went through that whole mission. That was one. They tried to throw me off the mission. They threw me off for a minute, but I actually ended up going back into it. So it's I'm gonna leave it at that because there's a lot of information that I was thinking about sharing that I'm not going to share because
You never know.
you
You
never
never
know.
know who's listening.
Never know.
But yeah, I've been in a few places where I've been literally kicked out, and I've been told I don't belong here, and literally kicked me out.
Hmm.
And then I woke up. That happened to me like 2 or 3 times. But yeah,
Okay. All right. Thank you, Teresa. Now, Teresa, is that for Android or is it for iPhone?
she has a. I
Oh,
think she
she
has
has.
an
Oh,
iPhone
she has an
now, but
iPhone.
she misses her Android. You're
Okay.
not missing much, boo boo. Trust
Oh Lord.
I'm petty
All
when it
right.
comes to iPhone. My bad, guys. I
All
love
right.
y'all.
Honey, dude, what's up in the building, sis? We appreciate you for tuning in. We love you. Love you.
Love you, honey, dude. Thank you so much for being
All
here.
right. So cool. Gosh, man, I'm sorry. I know I've been probably talking a lot because y'all hitting on some stuff and it's just flowing in. I mean, that's what we said was gonna happen,
Yeah,
but hey, it
yeah.
is what it is. Okay.
Finish that iPhone.
All right.
Mhm.
So what we got next? What's on the dome? I'm gonna let the ladies go on this one. What you got?
Well, I don't have much. I mean, we just kind of letting it bounce, let the energy bounce and let it do what it do. So whoever the energy hit, then you know. What
Okay.
about the chat? What we got in the chat? You guys got any questions? Somebody said, I had dreams years ago where I was in a secret um, basis
What in the
where
world?
they were testing out different weapons that we've never seen before. Oh, wow, that doesn't sound like a dream.
Sound like you did some remote viewing there.
But I was invisible though. Yeah, that ain't a dream. Anytime you see you're in places where like you feel like you're not there and you're looking at something, that's usually not a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you're the one looking at it, no, it's not a dream.
So what if you're
Um,
looking at yourself, but you have a
if
feeling that you're there though? Like you can feel yourself there, but you're looking at yourself while you're there.
that's what I call, and it happens to me sometimes. I call that me taking my conscious mind with me because
Mm-hmm.
whenever there are certain dreams that I have where I'm in certain places and I'm talking to people, right? Like I'm interacting. This might be my friend or my best friend or my cousin or whatever. And I'm interacting with the people, they're interacting with me, and I'm supposed to know them. And at some point, my conscious mind comes in and messes me up. Like my consciousness from this life kind of messes me up there. And I'm telling myself, well, I don't know these people. Who are these people? But then the part of me that's in the dream is like, yes, you do. That's your friend. That's your such and such. That's your such and such. But I'm there, you know. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it's like I'm there, but not. So I call that when I take my conscious mind with me. I'm able to actually see what's happening and what's going on, like having the experience. of what's happening. Sometimes I do it for a past life. Sometimes I guess it's a different maybe timeline or whatnot.
Hmm.
But eventually my consciousness kicks in and I'm able to kind of record what's happening. And whenever I do that, whenever my conscious mind comes with me, I usually remember everything that happens and I can take it back.
Hmm.
So I don't know. That's kind of what I call it.
It looks like Teresa just asked a question, and then after that one, I want us to touch on like timelines.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, that
Oh yes. Wow.
how do I say
It's a
this?
whole nother level, Teresa. You waking up some stuff in there.
Exactly. That is it. For those who are having dreams in color,
Mhm.
that is a really good sign that you're tapped into things spiritually,
Mm.
because it's kind of like that movie The Giver.
Ah, yeah.
And we're I know I'm a big movie buff, so you'll actually catch me reference a lot of different movies because my first job was at a movie theater,
Mm.
and so I'm always wrapped up in movies. But if you think about the movie The Giver, um,
Mm.
where the movie starts out in all black and white, but as the young man starts to shed away the culture of what he's been raised in, he starts to question things. He stopped taking the shots and things of that nature to the point where he was actually able to see the world in color.
Yeah.
So seeing things in color in your dreams is
Mhm.
more of your consciousness of where you are
Mhm.
and how you've grown spiritually.
Right. It's another, I guess you can call it another form of awakening, so to speak.
Hmm.
Because I don't know, I told you guys about the dream that I had with my dad. Well, it's a meditation I did because I seen this yellow in my dream. And it's not like a yellow that I've seen before. It
Mm.
was super like yellow, but it was a different yellow. And I'm like, I just kept staring at it because it was so pretty. And my dad told me that that yellow is, he said that is, what did he say? It's a fragment of my soul that I awakened, and it
Mm.
represents my creativity.
Hmm.
So different things. I mean, if you really truly want to know what it really means, like spot on, Teresa, I would recommend doing a small meditation and
Hmm.
just focus on that thought, like that question that you have. You just go into a meditation. Don't eat. Try
Hmm.
not to eat. Like maybe if you can go maybe 2 days without eating, like do a little fast, drink a lot of water, go into a small meditation. Maybe I would probably do it maybe in the morning and then in the evening if you can, and really meditate on that. And trust me, you'll get the answer. That's how I get answers sometimes. Big, tough questions. That's what I do for my answers, and it works.
Hmm. Now, I know that there was one other question that popped up on Facebook, but you said you had something you wanted to jump on real quick, 82,
Timelines.
on timelines.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That question could actually tie into uh, timelines. And I'm going to pop it up here just so y'all can see here. This is from Holly. Thank you so Holly, you always on here on
She
Facebook. We
is.
appreciate you so
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She said, I had dreams of being in a place and I am physically there, like
Mm.
time travel.
Wow.
So we're going right into parallel universes.
Mhm.
Um, I'm going to make this comment, which is that early on in 2020, there was this whole thing about the veil is lifting, the veil is
Mhm.
thinning to the point the veil is gone,
Yep.
right? And in watching the series The Sandman and looking at the girl being the vortex, it it made me understand the thinning of the veil and the veil going away in a whole different light. Because when I think back to the dreams that I've had up until now, I'm realizing that a lot of those dreams are actually past lives. And it's just us collecting fragments of ourselves, understanding a piece of ourselves so that we can better understand who we are.
Yeah.
Because in the last video we did, I talked about how I had a dream when I was a teenage mute girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean mute like couldn't speak. And and I actually got to experience what it's like trying to speak and not having that vocal box there. And no, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody with a disability, but for those who are either deaf or mute and they try to talk, and you know how it sounds kind of distorted.
Mm-hmm.
And in that dream space, I was actually able to feel what it feels like in my throat trying to talk when I don't have that piece in my body. And so that helped me to understand, for one, why I had a speech impediment when I was younger.
Yeah.
I stuttered like real hard, and why it took so long for me to actually be able to speak
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't need to talk this much.
And I think that kind of answers Honeydew's question that she put it in the chat right there.
What's that?
She said, speaking of timelines, I keep getting tiny flashbacks of moments in my childhood. It's been happening over 2 years now. Recently, the flashback started going back further and further to a toddler. Yes, it's helping you because remember, a certain somebody is has gone. So the veil literally is really not there anymore. And this is giving us plenty of huge, wonderful opportunities to really collect ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people have the saying where they say, "Oh, I feel lost." You know what I mean? Like, why? Okay, why do you feel lost? What's making you feel lost? Is because you actually did leave a piece of yourself someplace.
Mm-hmm.
So if your consciousness is actually taking you back to different times in your past, it's giving you the opportunity to actually reflect on that time, to see what part of me did I leave there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, collect it. You know, heal it. You might need to do a little bit of healing while you're doing some retrospect. Bring it back. It's like we're kind of collecting here.
Mm-hmm.
Collecting. Each time you revisit a certain, you know what? I let ADT listen to a clip of my little ones. Emmanuel, he's 9 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he we spoke for about an hour, but I was only able to record about maybe 29 minutes, 22 minutes of the conversation. I stopped to record it because he was making a lot of sense. He came to me one day and asked me about my experiences because he was concerned. He said, "Mommy, I'm a little concerned. I'm having these experiences." So I'm like, "Well, son, what type of experiences have you concerned? You're 9." So he says, "When I keep living the same thing over and over again, it keeps repeating itself." So he told me this when he was about 7, but I thought he was talking about getting up, going to school, and just kind of doing the whole routine. That's what I thought he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But he went further into the conversation and said, "No, mommy, I'm telling you, I'm living the same experiences over and over again, and it keeps happening."
Mm.
And he's like, "I don't know why it's happening, but I want it to stop. Like, I want to know why." So he came to his own conclusion as to why it's happening and how he's going to solve it, all by me asking him questions to make him
Mm.
think. So he said, "Aha, I know what I'm going to do." He said, "I think I'm having these experiences so that I can make a different decision.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to give me the opportunity to choose a different path. So the next time I have this repeating experience, I'm going to choose something different. I'm not going to choose the same thing I chose the last time." And I'm going to put myself on a different path. Now he's 9, and this is what he's telling me. Sarah's experience, that's in the whole video by itself.
It is. Yeah. Yeah,
She
that
needs a
that
whole video, that recording. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it just gives us an opportunity to see, probably if you needed to correct something or if you left a piece of yourself there, Just really pay attention to the moment that you're being taken back to, because your subconscious is taking you back there for a reason.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, that was pretty dope, honeydew.
Yeah. So yeah, honeydew, yeah, you are collecting fragments of
Yeah,
yourself.
there you go.
Um, this one is pretty interesting. Phyllis, it says, I had a dream that there is more land on Earth that is being hidden from the global
Of
population.
course,
Um,
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, for anybody who is a
Yep.
who follows Ice's wisdom
Hmm.
content, and actually,
What's the name of the book? Let me see if I can remember the
oh
book.
yeah, we had to download that book. I can't
It's
remember.
the pole, something
It's
with the pole.
yeah, but to that dream has some validity to it. There are some things that are coming out which they actually are talking about that there are more continents than what they actually have already discussed. So that is very, very, very possible. And there's a book that we had downloaded that talks
Gosh, what's the
more
name of the
about.
book? They had the book for 4,400. We are
Because
not joking. What
Mm,
is
they
it
don't
called
want you
again?
to know.
I'm
I want you to know. Those books that contain that type of information that you're talking about, Phyllis, if you try to buy it online, they deliberately put the prices like that so that you won't be able to afford the book. And if you can afford the book, then that means that you're in the know. So and you wouldn't even need to buy the book. Well, why would a book need to be $4,444?
It's ridiculous.
Some of them 2,000. They're really expensive, but they actually
Books.
would those questions as far as the extra places that they have.
Hmm.
Gosh, what's the name of this book? Some
Yeah,
pole something.
I think Holly is hitting on it. The our now I can't say the word. I know it in my head. Agartha is what she's talking about there. Uh, what is this? I know I got this book
We
in
have
here.
it. We got the
I'm gonna come back to it because I don't want to miss
yeah. I'm gonna go through the
anything on
comments and
here.
see.
But in regards to the timelines, ADT, what else were you thinking about on that?
I've been having for the past couple of years before 2020, I would say probably 2017, 2018. I used to have these things like these cysts underneath my armpit. So I
Hmm.
would go to the urgent care and they would have to drain them out. And
Hmm.
I remember specifically, and this happened every single year, and it stopped 2 years ago. I changed how I ate, and I also said this is not happening anymore, and it
Hmm.
hasn't. So back then, I remember going to the urgent care, and one of the nurses was like, "Hey, my son gets these. You're in here kind of calm, and he's always screaming. Like, does it
Hmm.
really hurt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty painful, but I'm pretty tough when it comes to pain."
Yeah.
And so the following year, and it was around October and
Hmm.
November every year, this thing would just pop up. So
Hmm.
they used to say, "Oh, it's because of your deodorant." I'm like, "Well, I get that, but why is it only happening October, November?" I couldn't
Right. That's like
understand.
clockwork. Yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't. Yeah.
right. So I went into that same urgent care that year. It was
Mhm.
literally they said, "Oh, you were in here for the same thing last year, a week before."
Yeah.
So I remember the nurse, and but I was listening, and she was speaking to the lady, the receptionist at the front or whatever, and she was like, "I really enjoy working over here. I'm so glad I was able to get a job here because it has all these nice restaurants for break and whatever." And I was like, "Wait a minute, what? This is the same lady that told me about her son last year, and now she's saying like she's just now getting this job," is what I heard.
Girl, stop.
So so I was like, "What the hell?" So then when she came in to do what she did to examine the area, all that mess, I was going to ask her about her son because she said he always got them as well. I'm glad I didn't because she said, hey, my son gets these. He's like always screaming about this. Does it really hurt? And I was like, I think I just sat there like, this shit is happening again.
Damn, you that's a loop. That's what a manual was. So let's go back to manual's solution. Because he told me about that very same type of thing, but you listened to it when he said that the guy had the tattoo and remembered the because of the tattoo he was wearing. So you revisited something and the same thing happened.
Mhm.
So I had a situation in New York. It's in 2007. I went back to New York because I left in 2014. Zion, which is my middle kid, we used to go out all the time because I was single. So I took him to the movies. We did everything together. And one
Mhm.
place that we always liked to go to was the Brooklyn Museum. So we would always, like, I even have pictures of us going to the museum. One of the pictures that I took was on the Egyptian floor. Um, it actually turned out kind of weird. It was purple. We took it in front of the mummy, and it and that's it came out. I still have it on Facebook, by the way. But I'm saying all of this to say we would always go to the 11th floor because the 11th floor is where that's where they had the Egyptian stuff, the African stuff, and all that, stuff that we like. And so when I went back in 17, I'm like, let's do it again for old time's sake. Let's go back to the museum, the Brooklyn Museum, take some pictures in the same place. So when I went back there now, I asked her for one of the brochures because it kind of changed things up a little bit. So I'm like, yeah, I want to go to the 11th floor. I know that's where you guys have all your Egyptian stuff and whatnot. It's a really nice floor. And they had some artwork that they had in there also. It was a floor, I think, either below or above, but it wasn't finished yet. And so when I went there and I had a little pamphlet, I'm pressing the buttons and I'm looking at the buttons on the elevator and I'm like, this only go up to the fourth floor. What's going on?
Hmm.
So I'm like, this is strange. So I went around to the front. I'm like, do you guys not have
Hold
the
hold on.
Egyptian stuff on the? Is it breaking up?
Hold on. Are we? It's showing that we should be back clear now. I'm sorry to cut you off, but are we coming back in clear now? Because it said it was choppy and stuff.
We good?
It, it's clear now. But like I was saying, I think we were getting out of pocket because it was freezing up.
Oh, we doing too much.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Damn,
I
come
had to
on, man.
I had to shut some stuff down on the computer. I saw it was trying to freeze up
Ah,
on me. I
come
was
on,
like,
man. This is
nope.
crazy because I've
Okay.
never understood this. I've never been able to explain it,
Hmm.
and it really made me feel like I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I know I wasn't cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because I have pictures to prove the shit.
Hmm.
So I asked the lady, I said, "Where is your 11th floor?" She was like, "We don't have an 11th floor. What are you talking about?" So I'm like, "Man, I used to come here all the time. This is my favorite place to come. Me and my son, we always came here. This is our thing. This is what we do. We go to the bodegas, we get a nice sandwich, we go to the botanical gardens, we feed the fish, and we come here and we go to the 11th floor." She's like, "We've never had an 11th floor." So I'm like, "Man, why you playing with me?" She was like, "We only have 4 floors, and we've always just had 4 floors."
Four.
4? Oh, this
Yeah.
is a Brooklyn museum. What are you talking about? Girl, I circled that building, went to the
You were
back
looking for
place.
that floor.
They only had 4 floors. And ADT up until this day, I don't even know how to feel about that. And so I don't even talk about it. So I don't know. It seems like I know something happened. Something definitely happened. And sometimes this is what I believe. I don't know. This is just my little thingy bob thinking. I believe that sometimes, depending on the decision that we make, and depending on when they are messing around with that big C word, I'm not going to say the name, the C word with an E
The
and
big
an
old
R and an N, the
kaleidoscope.
collibus, when they're messing around with that thingamajiggy, I think sometimes they open up pockets, right? And somehow or the other, we loop in their pockets.
Hmm.
And most people are not aware. Like most people are really just the dun da. Let's keep it real. I'm just being honest. A lot of people still drink tap water. A lot of people are still really in that sleep, in that daze. So they're
Program.
not going to realize when they're being looped. But for the people who are really paying attention and who've been doing things different, like changing the way they eat, changing the way they think, vibrating different, meditating, when these things start happening, it's going to be more prominent to us, and we're going to catch it. We're going to realize what's happening. So that's just what I think. Because I don't feed my kids like my kids are. They're not. You know, they don't like. They don't have that, and they've never really they don't have those things, and they drink like I buy my water. They don't drink that, So
We
the
got the
toothpaste,
we got the 5 gallon
yeah,
alkaline water.
and they have special toothpaste that they use, so their minds are really kind of like so they'll be able to catch on to different things. So
Mhm.
that's what I think is happening. I don't know. What do you think is happening?
I mean, definitely. I think that once we start detoxing, like decalcifying our pineal glands, a lot of things are, opening up, and we're more cognizant of what's actually happening. But for
Yeah.
me, you know, I can honestly say that I have intentionally quantum leaped, and I did not too long ago. And
See.
it's like where I am now. And then I can say that I think we're always leaping. We're always jumping around.
Mm.
And
Consciously or unconsciously.
yeah, 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 you're grabbing those
Hmm.
different timelines. And for me, it's just like, oh man, this is like really playing out right in front of me. I've had situations where I was driving from one location, like from Huntsville, Alabama. It was like at midnight back to Atlanta. And I was driving, and in the car I was in, I was the only one on the road. It was pitch dark. The car that I was in had those sensors on the side where it'll start indicating, hey, there's somebody beside you, whatever the case. There's no one. They started going off both of them.
Nobody.
No one was there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I was like, oh, I'm not getting freaked out. Then the sky started opening up, and it was like this purple sky. I was like, oh, isn't this great? Let's see what's next. The GPS was on, and instead of the GPS like counting down and saying, hey, I've got 20 minutes left, it was going up. And I was like, oh man, what is happening? So I had to go through Tennessee from Huntsville, Alabama to get to Atlanta. And I look over on the side, it says, welcome to Tennessee. I was like, oh, that was fast. I'm driving, and it said, a little bit, maybe 30 minutes, if that, welcome to Georgia. I was like, yeah, is it that close?
Weird,
I,
huh?
I'm driving again, and now I'm seeing cars. I'm like, where do these cars come from? All the license plates were like all ones, and that's my thing. And I was like,
Right.
oh, okay, all right then. And I look over, and here's a welcome to Tennessee sign. Drive a little bit more, welcome to Georgia. I was like, so me, I'm telling one of my friends, he's like, it was around like October, he was like, oh, must have been a Halloween practical joke. I'm like, you mean to tell
Really?
me people are putting these welcome to Georgia and
No,
Tennessee signs out here? You
no,
gotta be kidding
people,
me.
no. People
No,
got bills to pay.
yeah, it's like
Nobody doing that.
it definitely happens, and I'm aware of what's happening,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, you know.
Wow.
um but like right now, so much is going on cosmically speaking. I have
Yeah.
to really, really, really be. I was asking one of my friends earlier, I was like, hey, how's your retrograde season going? And he was like, I'm just trying to stay away, keep it in, and be out of everyone's way. I'm like, well, make sure your thoughts are also in the clear,
Mhm.
because I'm
Yeah.
instantly manifesting. I'm talking
Mhm.
about, at this point, it's not, I don't even want to call it manifesting. I'm just really remembering every single thing that's about to happen
Mhm.
next. And well, that's what I think manifesting is anyways. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's
Picking
that
those
timeline
paths.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, consciously picking those paths, like choosing those paths. I mean, I think that's the whole scenario here with the timeline. There is one happening unconsciously, and you
Mhm.
kind of don't really have much control. And then there is another where you can actually do it consciously, like, really be in full awareness of what's happening, and being able to choose your reality, or if you want to call it create your reality, whatever.
Mhm.
So that's to me, that's what it sounds like, because you're literally choosing your timelines, like, consciously. And on the other hand, well, when I started realizing what's going on, I wasn't, at least I was not aware that I was choosing. I don't know. What do you think, babe?
Yeah, I mean, case in point, um, what was it? Last month. Last month, even going back to Dream Space. In Dream Space, we were actually taught how to move in between parallel
Oh
timelines and
yeah,
things of that nature.
the monkeys.
And even so much that I had this deal that I was working on, and the customer was being a little bit
Oh yeah.
difficult. And I was like, you know what? I am going to will this sale into existence. And I went into that spot, right before you wake up, but you're not fully awake in the morning. There's a sweet spot right in between there, right before you wake up, and you can set your intentions right in there. And when I did it for the first time, it freaked me out because what I did was I visualized myself making the sale and getting everything together. And when I went into this waking realm, it happened. Like in the next hour or so, like it had happened. Like the sale had closed. I had got all the paperwork and everything again. I was like, babe, oh shit, I made that happen. I was like, are you kidding me? And so it is very real. Right now is extremely magical for those who can tap it. Excuse me, for those who can tap into that energy and, like you said, really have that clear vision, they can make things move. But
Honeydew, I got you, boo. Because I be keeping my receipt.
oh, let me show some.
Honeydew, you have pictures from museum. See, y'all thought I was playing. Out. Look, this is the picture that I was talking about. I know you probably can't see the color purple,
You can
but
see it.
what I'll do, yeah, that's the
See
hue. It's
purple.
purple. Yeah, so that's us in the museum where they have those the Book of the Dead writings and stuff like that. So you
Hmm.
see where my top is at the bottom, my bottom is at the top. See it? Bottom at the top, top at the bottom.
What the hell?
Right. So I never understood what the hell was going on because none of the other pictures, they were all regular pictures. And that's when the lady told me there ain't no such thing as the 11th floor. I was like, all right, bet. But yeah, that's it, honeydew. So I just wanted to help you out there with your question.
Yeah. And to she lives copper. Uh,
Ooh, I like that
I like
name.
that name
Yeah.
too. Yes, the Inception movie abilities are real.
Yeah.
You know, most of the I'm about to run up and get some water in just a second. But most of these movies are based off of real stuff. It's dramatized, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of the abilities that we have, as far as with X Men, because it is very very well known that melanated people they control weather.
Mm.
Um,
My grandmother used to do that.
yeah,
She would control the rain when she for her crops. Her name is Netta, and I did some research on her name, and apparently it's some type of African name because they were African
yeah,
from
copper.
Nigeria. Yeah.
I'm gonna go run and grab some water for us,
Mhm.
and I'll be right back.
But that is true. They my grandmother used to make it rain. Like she had her and her friends whenever the crops when it was dry season and she needed the rain, they would all go and do whatever they do. They call it the rain dance. And it would rain. So it's true. I mean,
Alicia, so you were saying that unconsciously we jump. So do you think that that's on a collective spectrum?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's collective because like I was saying before, when our big buddies that begin with C,
Yeah.
ER, and when they do the stuff that they do, it has an effect on us, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. Like for the most part, it does have an effect um, on the masses. So, but they're not gonna really be in full awareness. I guess they'll call it, "Oh, I just had a deja vu," and then they'll brush it off. They won't pay it any mind. "Oh, don't I know you from someplace? I feel like I know you," but they won't go further. They'll just be like, "Oh, it's just a coincidence." So that's
Yeah.
why I don't really engage in the word coincidence anymore.
Nah. No.
Yeah, I don't do it. I think the word coincidence to me, I think it was invented as a distraction. That's just because ain't no way.
It's
Ain't
all about that fear.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all got that shirt. False evidence appearing real.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's too much fear going on out here. No, somebody in the comments said something about manifesting, and
Oh,
they feel it's actually as alchemizing. Um, yeah,
That's
I
an
mean,
argument, but
yeah,
yeah, let me see. I saw someone say that we don't manifest because we are manifest. Yeah, we in physical form.
let's see.
It got me thinking that we consider manifesting is actually alchemizing. Well, manifest,
Yeah.
alchemize, tomato,
It's
tomato,
it's all chaos. It's taking chaos and
bringing
bringing
order,
order to it,
order from chaos.
because inside of us exists everything. Um, it was actually one of the books we were just reading a moment ago, and I did find that book
You
that we were
did.
talking about. It's called The World Between
There
Poles,
you go. That's it.
I'm about
and it
to
talks
take
about
notes.
different
That's
continents.
it.
But we are chaos beings, and we are just taking everything that is within us, and when you do it on purpose it seems like manifesting, but it's actually you alchemizing. It's actually you being an alchemist. It's you being that magician, that mage, and creating your own world,
Yep.
because that's what a lot of us are doing right now, because so many people are experiencing totally different worlds. Some are experiencing, for example, food shortages.
Hmm.
Some people are experiencing a lot of family members dying due
Yep.
to certain conditions. And so, everybody has their own world going on. Like in our world right now, everything is how does Panic say it? I forgot what he
What's the
said.
word he be using?
We live deliciously over here. That's the word he said. Deliciously.
Go ahead, man. You talk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just show them the what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
the animal plants.
Yeah, because I
oh
know they have
gosh.
other ones up there that might throw you off, but that's the one you need to look for.
Yeah. And yo, I'm just thrown off right now because we up here talking about parallel universes and stuff. I'm just having a huge deja vu of holding
Wow.
that phone up and
Mhm.
actually showing that.
We did
So,
it already.
um,
Remember when we was coming? We were driving up the hill.
mhm.
Oh, it's the hill that we drive up. There's this hill
Yeah,
by
it's
our house.
you know what? Something just popped in my mind, which is that there are a lot of vortexes that are popping up.
Thank you. That's
Um,
it. That's it.
because there's a vortex that's over here. I kid you not. One day we're riding down the road and I see the trees bend over into the road. I'm not on any
We
psychedelics
don't
or
do drugs,
anything.
guys.
I don't do any of that.
At least not when that happened.
And like I'm going down the road and she looking at me like crazy, like nigga, what are you doing? I was like, the tree is coming. Never mind. I was like, oh, what the hell?
Yep. Yep. And another time we were coming over it's that same hill. It's like a stretch. And he told me that I did something. And I promise you guys, I promise you I had no recollection of anything. Like for a good 2 minutes, I didn't know what the hell I did.
Yeah,
Like I'm asking him, did I pull this? Because you know you when you're on the passenger side, there's a mirror that you can pull down to block the sun.
yeah. The
And
visor,
so
yeah.
the visor and it's pulled down, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't pull that down. How the hell did that get down? So I'm like, did I pull that down? He was like, you just did. And then he said I put my finger up like this.
Yeah, because she was point. Because see, she has these things where um, she'll see something and she'll just point and she'll look. I was like, babe, what you looking at? And so when I told her that, she was like, what you talking about? I ain't looking at nothing. I was like, you were just pointing.
But that and something weird always happens when we coming down that
Yeah.
slit. So I just think it's a damn vortex.
Yeah, I think there are quite a few that are popping up. There's a big one. If anybody knows anything about Birmingham and Sloss Furnace, um, which is actually going to be on and popping next month because that's where they hold the what do you call those things for Halloween? They go gosh, horror house or
Oh,
whatever.
haunted house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do that thing. But that Sloss Furnace is actually one of the biggest vortex in Alabama.
And I didn't even know that. I had no idea.
So it's a lot of them. That's you know what? Gosh, this I don't know what's going on right now, but a lot of things are hitting me, and a lot of things are making connections. Because once again, I understood early on in our relationship that you know our higher selves, our source, whatever you may call it, speaks to us in multiple different
Yeah.
ways.
Mm-hmm.
And for my higher self, my spirit team, they talk to me through movies.
Mm-hmm.
And we just finished the series not too long ago with Stranger Things, last one that came out,
Mm-hmm.
and they were showing how the guy was creating doorways from branching off from one thing to the next. And as I talk about these vortexes open up, and I'm thinking about the Stranger Thing episode, I'm thinking like, hold on, what is causing all of these doorways to open up? It's like stargates. Wow, in a minute, like I don't know what's going on. The connection is going on with you, ADT, because you definitely had some vision about doing this because
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming through,
Yeah.
but it's some transmissions coming through right now.
Yeah. Heavy.
Uh, and
Heavy.
I'm just sorting through them as they come through. So
That
it's
might have something to do with my dreams. I know you guys keep hearing monkeys, but
mhm.
it's the third time we're talking about these monkeys. But the other night, I had a really strange dream about some monkeys. And I didn't see them. They just told me that they were monkeys. Keep in mind. All I remember seeing a whole bunch of colors. You guys seen Westworld where they were doing the strings in the beginning, where it was really stringy in the beginning. So it was a lot of strings that they were showing me. It was like in kind of like space, I guess, but they were different colors, like kaleidoscope of colors. Some of these colors I ain't never seen before, just really different. And I'm like, what is this place? And they were telling me that this is how they live forever. And I'm like, what do you mean this is how you live forever? And the monkey said that we live forever because we just continuously just jump timelines. So that's all we do throughout infinity is just jump timelines. So I don't know if it has something to do with immortality. That's a whole nother level.
Mm,
But yeah.
yeah. Chills.
So I don't
Gosh.
know what monkeys got timelines. I'm still trying to figure it out. Don't have any clear answers on that. If you guys know anything about monkeys and timelines, maybe you can let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, because that would be very interesting. But yeah. But yo, this has been a really dope experience right
Mm,
now. I'm I'm pretty sure that we can go on longer with this,
yeah,
but I don't want to hold the people
I
too
know,
long.
I know.
So let's just hit one other pointer. I was looking to see if there's any comments. If any, has anyone had a dream and they've been
Deep into
they
dreamland.
hold on, let me pull
Oh,
this up.
Teresa had some wild experiences today, boy. That is wild.
Let's see. Then a wolf howls extremely loud in your right ear, then wakes you up at an approximate 3:15. You know what? Let's let's go into this 3 a.m. thing. Um, do ADT? Do you find yourself waking up a lot around that time?
Oh yeah, that started years ago, and especially around full moons and new moons,
Oh.
both moon
Mhm.
cycles. Sometimes I'm not able to go to sleep, and sometimes
Mm,
um, I'll wake up around that time as well. But then back in the day, I looked it up, and they're like, "Oh, that's the time when all the angels are talking to you, and that's when you're going to be getting the messages and things of that nature." And then my cat is always up being crazy around 3 a.m. So
yeah,
yeah.
that's the time we're supposed to be up, actually.
Yeah,
Um, but we all know how this is set up.
yeah. Because I know we have a lot of messages that come through around
Mm,
that time. It is definitely something to it, and if I remember correctly, there astrologically to that hour. If my memory serves me right, I have to go back to my note. But that's the time where the sun makes its transition into the first quarter of the day, to
mm.
where it's going
Oh,
from its complete darkness over into sunrise.
that's the
So it's
first
like that
section.
that first quarter
Yeah.
that it goes through, and so it's like the sun is going through the veil, and as it goes through the
Hmm.
veil it thins,
Hmm.
so that it allows us to have a easier connection to our spirit guide,
Hmm.
ancestors, angels, whatever you're trying to work with. You can
Yeah.
get it done during that time.
Yeah, I remember that whole breakdown that he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's pretty dope. um Something else that sparked up, let me look at that comment again, because that was something she said. um Has anyone else had any dreams?
With the wolf. She talked about the wolf in her
Hmm.
ear, then wakes up at approximate. Okay, yeah, that's what that is.
Okay.
Your spirit guide might be a wolf, Teresa.
Hmm.
Yeah, a strong
Legitimate.
possibility. At 3:15, that's the witching hour.
Yeah.
So anything that's talking to you at 3:15, that's probably your spirit something, guide, animal,
Hmm.
or whatever have you.
Yep.
Just don't be afraid. That's
No.
one of the things that'll keep us from getting those messages is when we're afraid.
All right. Cool beans. So ADT. Any other final thoughts on anything?
No, because it's gonna just go into some long discussion. I'll keep it quiet.
So just real quick, I'm just going to drop it in here again for those who may not know. As far as for ADT's restaurant is a tailored experience. If you are looking for some really good vegan choices, definitely check her out. Those boneless wings are
Oh my
dope.
gosh, the waffles.
Oh,
The waffles.
cobbler.
Oh my god. Hold on now.
Okay. And we
Yeah, that peach cobbler. Hold on. It just you see how that just took some time to come back.
that peach cobbler
Yeah,
was off
you
the
said it,
chain.
but it took some time for it to the taste buds and everything to come in.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
about the crumbles. That was okay. But yeah, definitely follow your girl on
IG.
that IG for the tailored experience, so you can get all of the up to date information as far as what's going on, and also if you want to check out the musical side of ADT, make some dope stuff. We were just listening to oh gosh,
what's
now
the
I'm drawing
one?
a blank.
Is it the God?
Yeah, the God one. I can't
Oh,
remember.
see God.
I see God.
I see
yeah.
God. That's our
Yeah.
favorite.
Gosh.
I wish you could play it right.
I wish we could.
Oh man.
We weren't even prepared.
Yeah, y'all gotta check that out. It is really soulful, deep music that will touch your soul, will elevate your soul. Not this raga stuff that they got out here now. It's really some good, soulful, hopeful music. It sounds good and it feels good. You know what I mean? So check her out, please.
All right.
I'm so full of gratitude. Thank you.
Grateful every day, so family. Every day.
Going back to the flip note, the horses were mentioned earlier.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see what this is.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
Oh, I see what they did there.
Yeah. Okay, and the horses that were mentioned earlier, the highlighted chimps and horses.
Yeah, so and no. Did you guys see the movie?
Yeah.
Well, you know that
Oh
crazy
no. God damn it.
So I had that dream about the horses, and then you guys have been seeing these here talking to these monkeys.
Well, I think you cut for a second. What'd you say, ADT?
Oh my God, the monkeys and the horses and the word. Go on, Sacred Soul Terry. I know that's real. That's a good connection, for real. Wow.
They're trying to force us to stay on here. Look, somebody said we don't mind.
I know. Honeydew on here. Oh boy.
What do you know?
But gosh.
We have a sacred connection. ADT, listen, we have such a very telepathic, sacred, powerful connection. It's really beautiful. It's just so wonderful. It's hard to find this type of connection, very hard to find.
Yes,
I would agree. I think that when we're all together again in person, it's going. I already told y'all. I think
it's gonna be fire. I'm telling you.
Yep.
The vibe is just so right. It's so correct. It's authentic, correct, high vibe, intelligent, pure, conscious, and very downloady. Very open to receive. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm actually feeling like October is going to be the time that we're going to be in Atlanta. One of our other friends that we're connected with, he's going to be in Atlanta
that's
around that time too.
That's right.
So definitely keep us in mind for October.
I'll be here.
We'll get with you with some dates and stuff, but
Maybe September the 23rd or something. I don't know. Well, that's not October, but September.
No, that's not October, but let's
That's a
see.
Yeah, yeah, that's yes. Her birthday is coming up in what, less than a week. When
Okay,
September 23rd is not October, but it is September the 23rd. It's a very important day.
it's a very important day.
Hmm.
It's going to be a lot of
A lot of
amazing
important
things.
stuff happening on that day.
Gosh, your birthday is next Friday.
I'm gonna be 21 again. I'm 21 every year. It don't move. It just stay right there.
Oh
like a
gosh,
manual.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it stays right at 21. That stop counting your birthdays, guys. This is the tip of the night, okay?
Prince said it.
Prince gave me some really good advice and I'm taking it. Whenever you have one birthday and that's the day that you come into this realm to have this human experience, stop counting them days, man. If you want to celebrate, whatever, but just pick a number and stick to it. Just if you want to be 21, just be like, I'm turning 21 again,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be 22 again, but don't be counting like 25. It's depressing.
Yeah,
It puts a
And then
lot
you,
of pressure on folks.
yeah, just enjoy yourself. And I'm turning 21, and your friend is gonna be like, "But you did that for the past 6 years." Just be like, "So mind your business."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be 21 again because I say so. Okay, don't
Mhm.
mind what that ID say. That's just for playing in the matrix.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yep.
Um, and last thing, just to lead the people with this, because once again, I know if we go into another topic, it's
Yeah,
going to spark
it's
something
gonna go.
else.
We gonna be here all night.
And
Yeah.
8 hour lecture, like 8 hour live, like Panic in there. No, we ain't gonna do that to people.
but uh, gosh, okay. One of the things to definitely leave the people with is that right now we are in some very magical times.
Yes,
Um,
very.
there's a lot of transition that is going on. If you haven't noticed the butterflies that have been flying through, we've been seeing them a
Hmm.
lot.
Yeah,
Hell, even had I had two butterflies just sitting on my leg the other day while I'm sitting out grounding and stuff
yeah. They
in the
come to
sun.
you. They touch you.
Um, this is a magical time that we're in, even though it seems chaotic. Um, and to be honest, if you cut off a lot of the social media, TV, um, hell, even Netflix, because there's some stuff on Netflix that'll just send you like off the
Yeah, you don't
rails.
even need that.
But if you actually cut that out, you'll actually notice that a lot of the chaos,
Simmers.
it goes away.
Hmm. Hmm.
And right now is the time to really connect to nature before we head
Yes.
into this fall equinox,
Yeah.
because for some people tapping into nature is not going to be all um,
Right. Excessive.
that accessible, especially when it's
Hmm.
starting to get
Get
cold.
cold. Yeah.
So go ahead and tap in on that as well,
Hmm.
and then tap in to your inner gifts. Um, we all have our gifts. We are X-Men out in these streets. You have a special power. I have a special power. ADT has a special power.
Hmm.
My baby has a special power. Everybody on this video who's watching it, whether it's on a replay or watching it live right now, you have a special gift.
Facts.
And it is your mission to tap into it to figure out what that gift is.
Hmm.
And then you cultivate it. Now, a lot of times you're going to find out what your gifts are just by knowing who you are, not from
Hmm.
what labels have been put on you.
Hmm.
Uh, it's not so much tied to your gender or anything of that nature. It is your soul.
Hmm.
It's getting to know your soul and understanding what is inside of you.
Hmm.
When you can tap into that, finding those spiritual gifts comes a lot easier, and
Hmm.
then you can get into it and you can cultivate it and you can master it.
Facts.
So definitely tap in on that. And for those who are watching and this information was helpful for and you enjoy this platform, definitely subscribe if you're on YouTube.
Hmm.
If you're on Facebook watching, definitely follow us, share that information.
Hmm.
And if this information is good for you, then you can also send a donation via Cashapp to us on Twin Flames Unite. You can send there. I'm gonna take a line from Q Reed's $1 holla.
Oh my
So
God.
just one of y'all send $1. All right.
But
So
one little thing before we go out, because
yeah.
y'all said that already. Listen, I got this download today, and maybe this is for somebody.
Mhm.
Um, I know right now we are doing a lot of transitionings. People are
Mhm.
growing. Some people are stepping out of one phase, maybe one job, or and they're moving into something else. If you find yourself in a place where you've been fired, or maybe you had to leave that job and you're looking for another job just like the one that you had, pay attention to see if the universe is leading you into cultivating that gift that my baby was talking about earlier. Because if you have this special gift and the field that you're in is not helping that gift to grow, that's the reason why the universe or God, whatever circumstance, took you out of that particular situation, is to now give you the opportunity to nurture that gift that you came here with, that you came here to do something with it. So don't go back into the same type of job you was fired from or that you left. Now is the opportunity for you to actually, cultivate that gift that's inside of you that maybe you spend 5 minutes on per week or whatever have you. Now is opportunity for you to spend all week with that gift, nurturing it, because a talente means a sum of money. That's where you're gonna get your gift. Your money is literally your gift, or your gift is your money. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
And another little thing before I go, it's linked to this one, I promise, and I'm done. Today I got a download from the wind, and what the wind was saying, if you want to call it the wind, I call it the wind, Mama Earth, or whatever. It's something like this, right? Um, Allow yourself to feel this goodness, this feeling that you're feeling, even when things are not going the way that you wanted it to go, right? So let's say that this particular month you might not be able to pay lights, or they probably canceled your insurance, or damn, I got to pay this cell phone bill tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to do it, right? That type of thought forms brings on a certain feeling, and that feeling literally takes you out of that gratitude, that feeling of bliss, that goodness that you feel when all of your bills are paid. You guys know what I'm talking about. When all your bills are paid, there is a certain lightness that comes over you. You feel good, like you can breathe, like what the air wanted me to know today is that you don't have to hold yourself captive to that feeling of oh my god, I can't pay my bills, and you're all tight like that. No, you still have a choice to feel the same exact way as if all your bills were paid. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be bills. Whatever it is that keeps you captive, you don't have to stay in that feeling. You don't have to stay in that frequency. You can choose to be grateful, loving, blissful energy, no matter what's going on around you. It sounds, but that's what I felt today. I was just sitting in nature, trees around me, and that's what I heard. And I'm just in there, like I'm just like I'm somebody's talking to me, like, wow, okay, yeah, like I'm really taking it in. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it felt so good. So we don't have to be stressed out. It's a choice to actually like feel the stress. I'm not saying the situation is not real. Yeah, these situations is real, right?
Right.
But we have a choice in taking on and actually feeling it. I hope I'm sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I gotta
Say
say.
it. They feel it. They feel it.
Yeah.
All right. So ADT, once again, thank you so much. Definitely be on the lookout because I'm feeling real strong in October. We're gonna be at ATL
On September 23rd.
or September
We'll
23rd.
probably make it October. We'll blend it together.
Hey,
Okay.
we still got a week. Yeah, we still, uh, three night staying at a hotel that hadn't used yet, so we may be using that. So
we'll see.
all right, but thank you.
Thank you guys so
once
much.
again.
Thank you.
Thank everybody for tuning in. And that's pretty much it, y'all.
That's it, guys.
We're going to head out of here. This was a powerful connection here. Gosh, I still got a lot of things going through right now.
Me too. We're going to write it down.
I'm going to have to go and write some of this stuff down. I'm going to
have to write it down. It's too much.
But we're about to get out of here. We love y'all.
We love you guys so much. Peace out, guys. Bye. Bye.